I'd like to introduce to you the world's most popular personal portable radio, the Emerson Radio Model 558. It's a tube radio that runs on two batteries, a 1.5 D cell and a 67.5 B battery. This radio was produced in 1948 and sold, as you can see from this ad, for $34.95. It came in a number of different colors. I have seen the ivory color, I have seen green, and I think there is a burgundy or a red color, and maybe even black. You can find these on eBay anywhere from $40 to $140, depending on their condition. I've got one here in the shop today I want to show you. We'll go through it, and I'll show you how I created a battery to work in the Emerson radio. Here's the Emerson. You can see the emblem. Emerson Radio and Television. This radio is in pretty good condition. It's an ivory color. Got the plastic carrying strap on the end, and the clasp to open the radio up. You can see it's in pretty good shape. Just a tiny little crack here and there, but generally in pretty good shape. You move the little clasp here and open the radio up, and this is in beautiful condition on the interior. The antenna here hidden behind this material. There's the switch, the on-off switch that works when you open and close the lid. The dial works correctly, and the volume control is here, and of course the speaker grill. Okay, we'll close this up here, and we will open up the case so that we can see the battery compartment and the electronics. The case just basically opens up. Thus, a reflection of the A battery. They call it an A battery, which is a 1.5 D sized cell. So the battery we'll be using there will be a D battery. And then the B battery is a 67.5 volt ever ready. Got a little bit of temporary conversion connector made here. You can see the tubes in the set. 3 tubes. The tuning capacitor. There's the speaker magnet, and the speaker's just a little bit loose, but not the worst for wear. Then the battery, the D battery sets here, and the B battery sits up here. So there are a lot of videos on the web on creating 67 volt batteries. Basically, they're no longer available. You can buy some new ones that have been newly manufactured, but they cost about $30, $40, $35, $40. So there are a lot of ways to accomplish getting to the 67 volts. And what I have done is followed what many other techs have done and created a 9 volt pack. 9 volt batteries. I bought Amazon because they're a good cheap alkaline battery, and have created a frame for these to snap into. You can see I've used these better quality clips to solder them together on a board, and then have wired all of the batteries in series to come up with 67 volts, a little over 67 volts. So we're good to go. 69 volts, I think, is what the total is. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook this connector up to the connector there and put it all together inside the case. I also printed, someone had come up with a kind of a clever little box that you can print out of paper and house this battery to keep it from shorting. So we'll slip the battery inside the paper box and slide the whole thing inside the radio. We'll see how that looks before we close it up. Okay, the battery just slips right down inside there, and I'm just going to close this up temporarily. We'll just set it in here and see if it actually fits the radio. Fits nicely. Not a problem. And we can make this connector, ordinarily would snap right on the end of the battery, just like that. So we've got a little bit of extra cord and connectors to work with, but I think we've got a little bit of wiggle room here on the end. So we'll connect that and then see if it closes properly. Okay, fits nicely. Going to slide right in there just fine. It'll close up fine. And I mentioned earlier that the set had 3 tubes, and I knew better than that. The set has 4 tubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tubes. And this is the battery configuration. So we'll drop the D cell into its place here. Make sure it's connecting well. And then we'll close the case down. Nice and gently. Make sure everything is lined up properly. Closes and snaps closed. And we will bring the radio around and let's see how back over it does. We'll open the case up and see what we get. Got a lot of interference in here in the shack. As you can hear, the lighting creates quite a bit of noise.
When you use the promo code TRUTH at the MyPillow.com website, and when you do, Mike Lindell's going to
have a lot of noise in this shack, and as I said before, I live in a Faraday cage, so if I move this radio over towards the window, I'll pick up a lot more stations. But for illustration purposes, we'll leave it on the bench here, and we'll just see what we can find.
Antonio Brown. You know, he was allowed to be late to meetings. He didn't have to stay on campus and look. You produce a... on the show, you'll see information. There for heaven, amen, paradise. So I'm the thankful.
Okay, a lot of interference from electronics in here. I've got a couple of laptops, 3 laptops running. This LED lighting really creates a lot of hash. Got a soldering station over here, I'm sure generating some noise as well. But the point is, you get a feel for what the radio sounds like, and what a pretty little gem it is. Truly a very popular radio in 1948.